You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Mino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Mino and the Mayor.
Begin the day with a friendly voice, a companion unobtrusive.
And here are your hosts, John Mino and Jim Schmidt.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you.
It's cold.
I've never seen the term. That's the old term for water
closet. The WC.
WC. I think that's still used in drafting. When people draw a house, or they'll still have WC.
And the blueprints?
Yeah, for water closet. The water closet today is 20 degrees below zero.
What is that?
Wind chill.
Why do you call it the water closet?
Well, because that's what WC is in drafting. Water closet.
Okay.
Do you ever have a drafting class?
It's wind
It's
chill.
a hard class. That's a very hard class.
Like,
Did you?
it's not. If you couldn't do math,
I dropped
it. Drafting.
I dropped it early. No, the first two classes I ever dropped so fast, like we barely got through the syllabus with drafting and physics.
Physics is hard, but
You know what? I got screwed over the physics one though.
yeah.
Oh, I did. So here's the deal.
You didn't take any prerequisites, right?
There weren't any.
For physics?
So anyway, it was an introduction to physics class and basically they described it as if you're going to be a teacher, but not a physics teacher, but so you'd have some working knowledge of physics, yada, yada, yada. It's no lie. And I needed a science really bad. So I bought the book like 2 weeks ahead of time, okay? Went through it. This is the honest truth. Went through it, got to like chapter 12. It's like, I can handle this. Okay? They're literally going through the syllabus. And like the president of physics class or of whatever department knocks it. Oh, professor, I left my son. Do you mind getting this here for me? Sure, yeah. So, hey, professor, since you're the dean of the physics department, tell these students here, well, physics is a wonderful thing, and it's, the lifeblood of humanity and this all, yada, yada, yada. But I'll be honest with you, the early stages, it's just pretty boring. It's not going to be fun. And honest to God, the professor goes, you're right. We're going to start at chapter 10. Honest to God truth. And you know what I did? I took my nice little syllabus like this, placed it on the table, and I walked out the door.
Yeah.
Because I knew I couldn't handle it. You got to know sometimes what you've got and what you don't. You just have to.
Well, I think that's why they put the syllabus together. But yeah, this is what we're going to do this semester. And if the kids aren't interested or that's over my head, then take some remedial classes and see you next semester in a year. But why didn't you take, if you needed a science, why didn't you take like world foods? That's where all the kind of.
I don't think we had that one.
Yeah, that's just where the kids who that like.
Oh, the what?
I was going to say dummies, but I couldn't think of a different word.
Wow.
World food?
No, I've never heard of world food.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I'd taken a bunch of science classes. Well, not a bunch, but like a biology and stuff at the junior college. But because we're in those trimesters, nothing would transfer full. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, right. Well, right.
So that's why I had to take more than I thought I was all done with that. So,
yeah.
Green Bay -2, Appleton -2, Oshkosh -4, wind chill of 20 degrees below zero. 20 degrees below zero. But, I didn't think that wind felt as bad today as it has other days.
I don't know, man. I went out to get the paper this morning, and my neighbor's out there at the exact same time, 5:15. Brian, he goes, "Who's on your show today?" I said, "This first time Todd's never. I didn't get it. Maybe you got it." I said, "I'm not sure who's on our show." I said, "I know for sure Brittney Merlot." And so I got to tell Brian we got a good show, so stick around. You got to listen to that. But
Lance Allen's coming on. Lance Allen from Channel 58 in Milwaukee.
Right. But you're right. It wasn't that cold this morning. I didn't think it was.
I thought the other day that wind was a lot worse.
Yeah. This snow that we had, like a lot of snow blowing, a lot of shoveling this weekend, like twice.
Yeah, me too.
What I like about snow is it's kind of a neighborhood meeting because you all kind of like in the summer,
everybody was
your
out.
lawn, you kind of cut some people Wednesdays, some people Saturdays, whatever, and of course, cut my lawn. But snow, you're all out there at the same time. We had like a little neighborhood meeting. I mean, just with 3 houses, but it was fun.
I mean, it was the same one. It was all the way up and down the street,
Right.
doing the things. Yeah, it was.
That was great shoveling Saturday.
Okay.
Right?
Did either one of you guys go anywhere Saturday night?
Yeah, I went to the show that Todd got.
Okay,
us
but not
to-
on the highways or anything.
No, it was just the Resch Center.
Because it must have been. I didn't go anywhere. I was actually in Manitowoc and just hunkered down or whatever. When I came back from Manitowoc to Green Bay yesterday, 8 cars in the ditch. Okay, but all of them were within probably 10 miles of Denmark. The first one didn't start until probably 10 miles
In which way? Towards Brown County or Manitowoc?
closer to Denmark, where all the cars were in
So
the
what
ditch.
county was that in?
Would that be Brown County? Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was Outagamie County or Brown County.
No. Are you on 43?
Yeah.
Outagamie doesn't touch 43.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, it's Manitowoc. Then you could, obviously Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and then, I
was thinking of like
and Brown.
Freedom being, well, what's Freedom? Of course, that's 41.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
Outagamie.
That's Outagamie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was saying about that distance type thing.
Okay.
But 8 of them in the ditch on that stretch. So that must have got really nasty. The scary thing, though, this is like 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. A car went in like so recent. I mean, like I drove by him. He was in the ditch. He still had his flashers on.
No?
I mean, he was still sitting with his flashers on. And I kind of thought, the roads are fine now. It's like, whoa.
No.
It's one of those things that seemed like where there's stretch. And, you'd see those, I'll be honest with you, no disrespect, but 2 big Dodge Ram types that, you think could handle
They were in the ditch?
in the ditch.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 of them. And somebody tore out, heading south, Saturday night it had to tear out a 50-foot section of the big fence in between the medians. With the cables and the whole thing. Yeah. So that's what I was saying Saturday night. I didn't go anyplace, but on those highways must have been really
Highways
nasty.
were probably, but we were talking about that. Like a lot of people who went to that Sebastian, like I said, there was thousands of people there. They had to drive home. And, I don't know. I just don't think the roads, even in the city, were that good. And I don't understand that. There's been no snow. We got all this equipment and all these people, all this salt. And so I don't know. Maybe they changed the rules that they don't plow under 2 inches or something. But man, oh man, those roads are bad. So anyway, I don't know. I have to drive 4 miles, not even 3 miles.
Todd in Green Bay says, thanks for the ticket. Sebastian Maniscalco was so funny. What's funny? I'm going to be honest. I hadn't heard about him till we started playing his things. Now he's popping up like everywhere.
Yep.
So there was quite a few of our listeners there, and I just want to, like I told you I was going to say on the radio, thanks for coming up and saying I listened to you, because you don't kind of know. You're hoping a lot of people are listening, but for them to come up, as I told you guys, it's like somebody coming up and saying I voted for you. I mean, it just makes you really feel good. And I'm like, anything you think we should do, and they're all like pretty good with everything, like the guests. Anyway, Todd, there was a lot of people that were there. So this guy has really taken off. Sebastian, he had Todd right on the marquee or whatever, the Jumbotron. They had all his upcoming shows. How many were on there? 80. I mean, that guy's on such a tour this year. He gets $250 a show. So that's $20 million he's going to pull in this year.
Had you heard of him, Todd?
I had not.
Okay.
But he's in a couple movies too.
Yeah, he's done
They
some
showed
stuff.
some of that on the Jumbotron.
Right.
I didn't see any of that, but I was like, wow.
That's what I mean. It's like everywhere I look now, I see his name someplace. It's like 3 months ago, I hadn't heard of him.
Yeah. And he, you don't want to look at the business side of it, but oh my gosh, it's just him. There's no band.
Is he a warm-up?
He did 2. And he brought comedians. It wasn't, sometimes he'd bring,
Right.
Anyway, it was 2 comedians. And Todd, I'd like to, what you thought, but the second comedian was really, really funny. Like sometimes you don't want to get somebody that good because it kind of takes
overshadow
the
you.
shine on you.
Yeah, no question.
But that guy was funny. And we went and saw Gaffigan too. His opening, he had 2 comedians open up, and the first one wasn't very good, but that second one, I'm telling you, I remember more of his jokes than I did Gaffigan.
Boy, is he going all over the place weight-wise.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
Is he back up again?
No, now he's real skinny.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how he did that, but
He
anyway.
says it wasn't Ozempic.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But, I don't know.
Does
All of a
anybody
sudden-
admit to it?
All of a sudden, Ozempic comes out, and
Yeah, all these people are dropping
Yeah.
50 pounds.
Right.
Like nothing. Yeah. I don't know. Far be it for me to tell people to stop losing weight.
what I liked about Sebastian though was he. I was telling Todd, it was kind of a clean show. I mean, a couple things, and he stayed away from politics, which a lot of people, just that's all they do. It's half hour of this. The only thing he did mention Elon Musk, and everybody applauded, which I thought was kind of cool. And then he said he just, for that DOGE, that Department of Government Efficiency, he just wants DOGE to come over to his house and talk to his wife. So, but he was talking about Elon Musk, how, I mean, you got to give the guy credit. I mean, he's a little out there, but you start PayPal at 31. This is boring. Sell that, and then let's do a car that doesn't use gas. And so then, of course, they make the Teslas. They're coming off the line. Then he goes outside, looks up. Might want to go to Mars. But that was about it. The rest of it was, they just talk about their life, taking their kids to the zoo, and we've all done that stuff. And it's hilarious when he puts it in perspective.
Is he a New York guy?
I'm guessing, wouldn't you say?
Well, he grew up in Arlington Heights,
Okay.
in Chicago. And
Okay.
he goes, he didn't do a lot with the Packers, but he said when he flew in. I'm sure he flies private. So he flew in. I'm driving from the airport. I'm like, where is anything? It is pretty desolate out there.
Yeah.
And then he drove down. They drove him to Lombardi. So he drove, and he actually stopped at Lambeau. But I was just talking about these houses across the street, and and what color should we paint it? I mean, they're all green and gold,
Right.
And then he said, and then the one with the cutouts, and then he did a pose, and people thought that was really, really funny.
Which
so.
didn't we do it? We did a show from that house,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
house
where he's
was
got the cutouts in the back. So he does this pose, and
That's a Simple Life Hospitality house.
yes.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, that was.
Oh, that was our like 40 degree below zero day.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Okay.
yeah, that
Oh,
was
that's cool.
funny. And he
Is there still a comedy club in Appleton?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
there
me
is.
too.
I think so.
I mean, is he a regular? I mean, do people know him around here from
not
coming?
sure.
No?
Not sure.
Oh, and then just, when he went to the zoo, his kid was only 6. And, he talked about getting 51 and, some not really incontinent stuff, but just, he goes, I take my kid to the bathroom and we just go in and I'm so jealous of his stream. I mean, that guy was chipping porcelain. He goes, I got this rain shower going on, just anyway.
Chris here says, thank you for the Sebastian tickets with all three comedians. We laughed until we cried.
that was
Very
good.
similar to listening to your show.
John
Liar,
John added that.
Liar. 20 degree below zero wind chill, folks. Back after this.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Hey, welcome back. Monday morning here at 97.9 FM, WGBW, 98.3 and 96.5 FM, WISS. And, of course, the Civic Media app along with 1590 AM and 1100 AM. Today is Random Acts of Kindness Day. There's a group that would go around and do a bunch of things in this day, wasn't there?
They're still around.
They are?
Oh, yeah. They give out free stamps and
Free batteries?
Free batteries. Yeah. Random acts of kindness. Yeah.
Cabbage Day. I like a good cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
I buy slaw and then just add my own stuff to it. President's Day.
Yeah.
I was
Lot of
reading,
stuff.
but nobody really is quite sure on what that is.
It's a little bit Washington, Lincoln.
Instead of having 2 days, right? They
Yeah.
kind of throw it together, give you a Monday off.
But
if
there's
you
a
work.
lot of stuff closed today. I mean, come on. What do people do? Are they going to go and quiz their kids on who's on Mount Rushmore, or are they going to study some president? And they're just not going to work and they get paid. I think if we're going to take a day off, we should celebrate.
There should be a celebration of some sort.
Yeah. So, like they said on
I'd like the post office.
No, this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Banks,
didn't know that.
post office,
Oh,
every
really?
government building, city hall's closed, county's closed. Yeah, everything's closed today.
If I had a day off, I'd celebrate.
Yeah, but just something. But they said I was reading an article about that, and they said, "So you're going to go get your mattress today?" Because there's
President's Day sales. That's right. There
That
was
was kind of funny. Yeah, I'm sure there is. But.
Yeah, there were. That was a big thing. The President's Day sales. You're right. Today is also Family Day. Michael Jordan is 62. Ed Sheeran is 35. Paris.
That guy, I love.
Ed Sheeran.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. He's got good music,
he's got great music.
but not a cool looking dude.
No,
Kind of a ginger, right?
yep,
He's a ginger.
All right.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
Nope.
I always thought he looked a little bit like the Packers punter in a certain
Yep.
way. That
Anders?
no,
Mastay.
yep.
And
yeah.
Rogers used to call him the Ginger Wolverine. Larry the Cable Guy, 62. Man, he seems like he should be older.
Yeah, but he's been around. He's done really well.
I mean, that's got to be 25 years ago. He used to come around here all the time. Then he was making movies. I mean, that's what I was asking about this Mancuso, if he comes to Appleton to any of the comedy shows around here, because Larry, even when he was making it big, he was still coming and doing the shows here. I mean, he'd still come to the radio station at 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, he worked it, and I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, Sebastian got a big break. I was reading about him. He went up to L.A. Something happened out there. He got cooked with a movie or something. Comedy Store became a regular. So, yeah, he's more popular than I thought he was. Well, obviously, when you go there and there's, 5,000, 6,000 people, they're all paying $100. Like I said, that brings in $700,000, and they pay him, $250. He does 100 shows. It's $22 million. I mean, and what surprises me about that, I want to say something, though, about, I don't care who made money on it because it was totally worth $100. But what they did in that theater and around in the Resch Center is unbelievable. That is awesome, because when you're working the theater and around, there's going to be times where you have your back to the audience, which you should never do. But then they have this huge jumbotron that's like state of the art. It's not their jumbotron. That thing is like 8 pixels. The thing that they have that they brought. And so every time he's facing the other way, you see on the screen, You see his face, because he's a little animated. He's more animated than, some of those guys just come out there and talk, and they're super funny. But this guy is pretty animated. Anyway, I was just really, really impressed with the setup that they had there. It was great. You could, every angle, it's one of those, there's no bad seats in the house type thing.
So when Bargetzi's there, are they the whole stadium there? I mean, 11,000?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm guessing.
I would
maybe.
imagine.
Well, then I don't know. I don't know what seats. I guess it seats theater and around. But theater and around, you're taking.
Well,
they had a lot of seats on the floor.
He's got one that's big on Netflix right now, Bargetzi, in Tennessee. Nashville?
Yeah, that's where he is. Yeah, that's where
Okay.
he is.
And it was in like the stadium. I don't know what stadium. I don't think it was a football stadium, though. Well, I don't know, whatever. I'm sure Nashville's got different. But it was in the round. And I mean, it was, people in the upper decks and everything.
Yeah.
So there had to be 20,000. But he was in the
Think
round
about that.
doing that. 20,000 at 250 or whatever. Unbelievable.
Wow, $4 million a night. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for just making people laugh. I mean, it's not like you're showing how to go to the moon.
It's just
making
and
people
everybody's
laugh.
like, well, the timing. Okay, get the timing down. There's timing in music, but then there's a whole bunch of other stuff too. And then you got 6, 7, 8, 9-piece orchestra. You got all this unbelievable lighting. Semi after semi of just lighting and there it's like I said, I thought the stage was really well done, but yeah, that seems like a pretty good gig to me.
That seems
but
like
I don't know.
Awesome. I give those people all the credit in the world because the way they start.
I was just going to say
Right.
that you struggle so hard, just like musicians, right?
Same thing.
Unless you really hit it big, it's a struggle.
It
But
is.
Bill Burr was saying that it was, and he's not that old. He's got to be in his 50s. That it's not. He didn't say it's not as hard now. He was complimentary to it, but you can make it on like YouTube
Right.
and stuff instead
Yeah.
of doing all these noon things at a college and getting booed off the stage and these, running into drunks at some smaller venues. He doesn't think they have to go through that. I think it was him that said that. I'm pretty sure because I do listen to him. That it's just, he didn't say it was easier. He just said it's different. That's what he said.
Well, another thing, I forget who it was. It might have been Jeff Foxworthy.
Sure.
You're a redneck guy?
Yep.
Okay. There was one of the comedy club guys said he pays, I want to say it's at least $1,000, maybe $5,000 a joke if somebody sends it to him and he uses it in his thing. Like $5,000 per joke he will pay
Well,
For-
I didn't know what we're
for
doing
a
tonight.
show. I know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It was one of those things. I want to say it was him and the you're a redneck if, where people would come up with their own type things.
Yeah, he didn't come up with all those. You're right.
No.
I mean, that's people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I guess some text here. Does Jim have President's Day linens? Possibly.
yeah,
Well, you must have some patriotic linens,
Oh,
right?
we have patriotic stuff, but no, I don't. That's more 4th of July. It's more summer stuff. But I got to teach tonight, and we're gonna talk a little bit about presidents. Not that what's important about it is kind of their policies, and I don't know. I don't want to bore you with the economics of different presidents, but I'm sure that kids are.
You know what's funny? I was
can't
reading.
wait to
It's
come
funny. I was
here.
reading a thing.
You guys are listening. It's gonna be a
No,
lot
but
more
it's just-
exciting than that.
I was reading about how certain presidents are so whatever. Then other places are just as proud of their president, and they've tried to But there's like a Herbert Hoover Museum in Iowa. They're like,
Right.
nobody goes to.
Right.
Then somebody else. There was the Ruther B. Hayes
Yeah, he's.
Library and Museum. Like, yeah, nobody's ever going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's talk about Roosevelt and
Yeah.
100 years ago how he got us out of a depression. And of course,
His big one
the
is
government.
in the state of Kentucky.
That's where he was from.
No, but that's where they honored him because he did the most for Kentucky with the his New Deal or whatever.
No, it was a New Deal.
So it was an interesting article about how some of these presidents you've hardly ever heard of, where they're honored and things like that.
That's cool.
Got a text here. Did you guys see SNL last night? I thought Paul McCartney and Simon really showed their age. Voice is not strong. But again, they're 80.
We were talking about that. They are older.
They are what they are.
50 years ago was a long time ago.
Yep.
For WGBW and WISS News, I'm Lisa Hale. A new plan from Governor Tony Evers would finally close the Green Bay Correctional Institution, in addition to other sweeping changes for the state's correctional system. Area leaders have asked for a new prison to be built for over a decade. Evers' plan would not build a new prison in Green Bay, but would close GBCI outright. GBCI is the second oldest prison in the state, built in 1898. The oldest is in Waupun, built in 1851. Under the governor's plan, that facility would be converted to a medium security center focused on vocational training. The plan would cost about $500 million and would have to be approved by the Republican-controlled legislature. There are 16 decorative light poles along the College Avenue Bridge in Appleton that are starting to rust prematurely. This means that the lights, which are less than 16 years old, will have to be replaced. This will cost the city about $90,000. The rust is caused by excess salt and harsh weather conditions on the bridge. City officials say there are no safety issues with the light poles, but they will need to be replaced. The poles were originally paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction says 93 school referendum questions will be appearing on ballots this spring. 5 in the February 18th primary ballot, and the remaining 88 on the April 1st spring election ballot. All of the referendums being sought in Northeast Wisconsin, including the $197.8 million referendum in Oshkosh and a $9.925 million referendum in Lapeer, not to mention 2 referenda in Shiocton, will all be on the April 1st ballot. I'm Lisa Hale for WGBW and WISS News. For news anytime, visit civicmedia.us.
Take Mino and the Mayor with you anywhere. Download the Civic Media app today from the Apple Store or Google Play Store. And text the studio directly, all from the Civic Media app. Download it today. Now, once again, here's Mino and the Mayor, John Mino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back. Mine on the Mayor here in a cold Monday morning wind chill of 20 degrees below zero, at least here in Green Bay. Brittany, what is the wind chill in Wausau?
Oh my gosh, I haven't even looked at Wausau. I was too busy looking at you, and I haven't gone outside yet, so I'm not exactly sure, but I know that our warnings are going out for 40 below right now. So
I just
let me
checked, 24 below. 24 below.
24
in Wausau,
below?
according to this.
And it's going to be
potential up to 40?
Yes,
And
we're
it's gonna
looking
be-
at cold weather warnings into northwest parts of the state right now, where it is absolutely frigid. So yeah, we're dealing with a lot, and it's not just tonight. It's going to be throughout today. We're freezing cold through tomorrow. We're looking at those wind chills still hitting so hard. Yeah, I'm looking at across the state right now. It's 35 below into Superior, Wisconsin. That's what it feels like. Same thing all the way into New Richmond. So very far west and very far north in the state. They are frigid.
There's got to be some schools that are throttling back a little bit. That's cold. Wow. And it's going to be 40 degrees a week from today. In the 40s.
Above.
Yes.
Above.
Can you believe that?
I know. So I can deal with this. I got kind of ready for this with the, for fires, I like those in the fireplace.
Sure.
Now I just bring in a couple cases of those logs in paper. But I brought 2 cases in. That was heavy. Anyway, so yeah, this is this winter. Let's just enjoy this. It's not going to be this cold again because March is spring.
Yeah,
right?
It's right around the corner.
Right.
Yeah, I would say pretty safe to say this is the coldest snap we're going to have,
Right.
and then we're pretty much done after that. I mean,
Right.
we'll dip a little, but not this severe.
Okay, let me ask you this. So aren't the big things coming to errands like next week, over the next couple of weeks, like the snowshoe championships and all kinds of things like that, okay, in Brilliant? I would think this, at least, Brittany, even if it's going to get warmer, this snow, whatever base we got, it's going to be like frozen solid. So that's not going anyplace for a while, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to hang on. I mean, the temperatures look to stay above freezing. I think it starts on Sunday. Then we'll hit the 40s Monday, Tuesday, and then we slide back down to the mid-30s on that Wednesday with the potential for some more snow behind it. So nothing wild, it looks like, as snow totals as we move forward for that storm. But, of course, a little addition after a little bit of melting going on. But when we have that melting, keep in mind, as we refreeze overnight, there's going to be icy spots
Right.
in a lot of those mornings. So thankfully, that's through the weekend, but early into next week.
But
just
it's going to
careful out
be
there in the mornings.
You know how people say it's too cold to snow? Is that true?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be cold and there's no snow. There's no participation at all this week, right? Like zero?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just going to be beautiful, sunny all week. I mean, we have a chance, I think it's Wednesday night, for a few flurries to fly, but that's also when our temperatures get warmer. So you're right. Sometimes it is just too cold to snow. I mean, our highs today are going to be in the single digits. We'll hit the double digits tomorrow, mid-teens on Wednesday. Then we get warm enough for it to snow. I mean, you can get those very, very light flurries, they're baby flakes. That's what I call them. It's very dry, very fluffy. It takes forever to accumulate. Those are definitely possible as this warmer front moves in on Wednesday night into Thursday. But back to sunshine for Friday, Saturday, into the weekend. I mean, it is a massive, huge high pressure system that has moved in from Canada. It is dominating a good chunk of the nation, and it is just holding all of the storms off to the west. So that's how powerful it is. So it's pretty cool that it is going to be the thing that warms us up, too, as we go into next week.
Because I was reading about this is a polar vortex, right? That we're in?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we're having more this year than last year. Did I read that
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We are. Yeah.
I think we only had 2 last
We
year.
did. We had
and
2
it's like
last
for
year.
Now we're on our 4th at this point.
Okay. And that's just air coming down from Canada. That's messing with us.
So it's funneling down. It's got that high pressure system moving it down, so it's able to drop us much colder. Pretty much, I don't know if you've ever seen those models. We call them spaghetti models, and you kind of see all these little noodles kind of circling the globe. Well, imagine one of those noodles taking a big dip, and it's dipping so far south that we're allowed to get this cold. So that's what's happening.
What's the coldest you've ever heard of wind chill-wise around here? Not like, the Arctic Circle, but just in general, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan even.
I would say 60 below.
Yeah,
That's the coldest
60.
I've dealt with. Yeah.
I have a picture of me standing outside, and I think it was 43 below. Remember we had that polar vortex, and it lasted forever? Like, I don't know, that's probably 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Oh, my God.
Wind chill 40 below or regular 40 below?
I think it was, maybe it was the wind chill. I got to find that. Anyway, it was like 9 days of this unbelievably cold weather. It was just so depressing. Oh, man, you couldn't do anything. And anyway,
I agree with you. The cold is harder for me to handle than the snow. It's warmer, it's cloudier, the snow's falling, it's pretty. I can go out there and handle that. I know driving in it's terrible, but the cold is just, I don't want to go outside.
Yeah. I don't care what they come out with. They keep saying this new stuff that's yada, 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 yada. Your body can only take so much when it's that bad, when it's that cold.
Absolutely. I was out snowmobiling over the weekend, and they've got, I used to have an old school snowmobile, so no tricks and dazzled things. I rented. They have the hand warmers on the back seat. They have it on the front handlebar. On the throttle now, my thumb was on fire. It was pretty cool. But it's
Really?
interesting how if you keep your hands and your limbs warm, the rest of your body kind of follows too.
Yeah.
and I talked about, we're big Aaron's fans. They do so much for the community, but I got their high-end snowblower certificate. It's the last snowblower I'm going to get. I'm not going to someday I'm going to move and I will not need a snowblower wherever I move to. But anyway, it's cool what they have with the hand warmers, and those lights are so bright. What a difference that makes at night, you know? It's just...
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the greatest invention in the world was the electric start for snowblowers.
Right, that too.
Oh, man.
That too. And I think they guarantee it because I've never had an issue with that. It's just...
Back in the day, though, oh, my God.
Right.
I literally on Saturday, because I went out a couple of times this weekend too.
Yeah.
My beard, I looked like,
I'll bet, just frozen. Yeah.
I looked like Grizzly Adams out in the woods.
But I am a little bit out of shape. No, I know, it comes as a shock to our listeners, but I woke up Saturday, I'm like, why am I sore? I got snore from snow blowing.
Oh, yeah?
That is not good.
Oh, yeah.
Just from steering that thing. My back, I'm like, what? Because we have a pretty good system. You know, Donna does some stuff.
All the work. And then
she does all the work, and I kind of.
It's a good system.
But but we did a snow blow a couple times this weekend. I mean, the snow
I did it
kept
Saturday
coming.
and Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
You did. You guys picked up, what was it, an inch and a half on Friday, 4.8 inches on Saturday, and then another inch on Sunday.
Yeah.
So you.
Oh, I was in
totaled
Manitowoc.
over
We get a lot
half
down there.
foot.
I mean, the porch, when I didn't, it was probably a foot of snow on the porch
Yeah.
after the 2 days type of thing.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
no, I
love
think
it.
it's great.
Sorry.
Yes,
That's
me
amazing.
too. It's and do you have a dog, Brittany?
No.
Okay, my dog. I mean, he is nuts in the snow, and then I'm doing the snow blower, and then he runs where the snow's coming out. I mean, he would never run in front of the snow blower, but you know, because he likes. I don't know, he just thinks it's pretty cool. And
I always think it'd be fun
That's
this,
adorable.
when it's like this to go up. I know they're closed, but Bud DeYoung, Family Zoo,
Yeah.
he said those snow leopards love this weather.
Oh yeah.
They're like little kids rolling around out there and playing.
No,
The
that's
snow leopard is my favorite animal. So it's funny that you bring it up and they act like me, rolling around having a blast in it.
Have you been up there? Have you ever gone to there, Brittany? The DeYoung Family
Which
Zoo
one was this?
in Wallace, Michigan, about 25 miles north of Menominee. 20 miles.
Oh, I haven't. I'll have to check
Oh,
that
you got to
out.
go. It's all hands-on and snow leopards, and it's fantastic.
they brought a baby kangaroo in here. A baby kangaroo.
That was this big.
They brought it in there?
We're in here. We're holding it.
She was in a little,
Yeah.
yeah.
And 2 days later, they were in a
And
market and they were
went-
eating
we went to-
kangaroo.
we went to a high-end meat market and we were eating kangaroo 2 days later.
Kangaroo beef sticks.
Yeah. Good thing we didn't do
Kangaroo
it.
Do it.
Slim
How'd you
Jims.
feel about that?
It's a
Not good.
good thing we didn't do it in reverse order
Right, we
because, you
didn't-
know, you're eating my mom. That
Yes.
wouldn't have been.
Yes, but it was such a cute little thing, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But they raise those for meat. The lady told us that they raise those for meat in Australia. Kangaroos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I thought
did
they
not
just
know
were like
that.
deer around here running free, but no, they raise them and they slaughter them and eat them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
work
kids.
with what
Kids
you
getting
have.
ready for school. Yeah.
You're normally teaching us things. We're teaching you something
go.
right now, Brittany.
Just what you wanted to learn.
Well, Brittany, give us a little more update on what we're going to look forward to over the next week or so and what we can do and what we can't do and what we should do.
Okay, that's a whole lot. All right, I would just stay inside today. If you do have to go outside, obviously limit your time out there. Bundle up, dress in layers. The magic number is 3. Of course, you want something close to your body that if you start sweating, it's going to absorb it so that you're not sitting there soaking wet. That is the one thing you don't want to do is start sweating either on your body, your feet, your hands, anything like that, because that can trigger frostbite fast and hypothermia. Speaking of frostbite, if you're outside in about 10 minutes to 15 minutes, you can get frostbite in these conditions. So if your hands start to go numb, get tingly, change color, you need to get inside, warm them up slowly. Never rub your hands together. That makes everything worse, damages the cells. Don't do it.
You know,
So
there have
just get
been
inside.
so many different home remedy type things for frostbite over the years. Hasn't there been? One time it was like put it in a pan of warm water. Then it's like, worst thing in the world you can do is put it in a pan of warm water. So, I mean, where are we these days on that? Yeah, other than just, get to an emergency center as quick as possible, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would honestly.
I mean, if it starts
what I do,
turning
'cause I've
white,
been
correct?
close.
Correct. If it starts
Yes.
turning white,
Yep.
your
Yeah.
skin.
Bad news. If you're tingly, white, you're already like in the second stages and it's about to get really bad. So the next is you're not going to feel it and you're going to need medical attention. So if you're starting to feel those pins and needles, they're starting to get purpley blue. What I do is put my hands between my legs or in my armpits because it's so nice and warm there. You'll warm it up slowly. Then I'm going to get inside and then I'm going to try to keep, putting some warm stuff on it. But I've run it under warm water before, not hot, but warm, and do that slowly.
But
So
it
that's
is
what
scary
works for
how
me.
quick it can happen.
Rapidly.
Yeah.
Rapidly.
I mean, I've
Hand
talked-
warmers.
Yeah. Talk
Good
to some of
idea,
these
too.
people here that work the first responders at Lambeau in some of those games where people are drunk and they don't realize, they don't feel, what they should be feeling.
Oh my gosh.
But
They've got the stories, I'm sure.
Well, I know one of them told me, I'll tell you what, they sure feel it as soon as they start sobering up. Because
Yes.
well, they say
I'm
that
feeling it
pain
now.
is incredible once that hits. Once you calm down. Yeah.
But this 40 degrees a week from today, that's like awesome. And just think, we're going to have some flooding though, right? I mean, 40 degrees, that's going to send this stuff out to the streets.
Yeah, that's
we don't
gonna
have
definitely.
that much snow, though.
All those snowbanks are pretty high. Drive around, those snowbanks are pretty high. You can't see around them. Yeah, they're getting up there, so this is going to be interesting.
You've got quite a bit on the ground at this point. So the flooding over, a 3-day span, yeah, it'll definitely start to happen. And like I said, the ice in the mornings, because everything's going to refreeze. And if it's not treated in some of those areas, it's going to be icy, or even on your steps or stairs. So
If I were going to do a business in the snow, everybody's like, plowing, snow removal, it's plowing and snow blowers and shoveling. But you know where you could make some money is in hauling snow away. Because where I live, the houses are really, really close. And it's like, what are we going to do here? I don't want to get it on his lawn because he'll get mad at me. And, and these businesses, the parking is like, even yesterday, 2 days ago, I went to an event and, I don't know, the snow took up at least 10 parking spots. So anyway, that you haul it away, but it's very expensive to haul it away. Super expensive. But
Does this say that I'm a bad person? One of the things I like to watch is videos of people slipping on the ice as they're walking out of their house. You find those
Nice.
online. Oh
Nice.
my God. It's funny.
come on, you guys gather around his grandma. Come on, let's watch her.
Todd, that's literally disappointing.
Wow.
Really? It's the first time ever you've disappointed me.
On her way to church. It's funny because she's going to church and look, she hits her head really hard.
Oh, yeah. Run that one back. Run that one back.
That is so
Do that
great.
away, do that
Look
away.
at her glasses fly. They cut her. See that blood? They cut her.
Wow. Brittney Merlot, thank you for joining us. You're the best.
Thanks, Brittany.
thank you guys. You
Take
too.
care. We got Lance Allen from CBS in Milwaukee coming up just down the road here. Mine and the Mayor, cold Monday morning.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
You know that you are.
That it is.
Todd, of course, will find the most apropos songs for every bumper.
Though I just want to say something to warm you up yesterday was that UWGB men's basketball game. They won, broke a 22-game losing streak. And I was with a friend of mine, and I just thought the coach was really coaching hard. I mean, that guy did not give up, and I don't know if he was trying to make up for some of the stuff that's been in the press about him, but man, he was all in. Just really yelling them all the way down the court, and it was pretty cool because people were sensing a win, and they were ahead by, I think, 11, and they got a standing ovation.
That's cool.
It was pretty cool. So it really,
Was that the Crest or the Resch?
it was at the Crest, which I really like that because there was
I do too.
2,000 people there, which isn't a lot, 1,700, I think. But it feels like, but you put 1,700 people, and there's 10,000
It's got some
seats.
atmosphere at least.
The band was
Yeah.
great, but it's still, we've talked about this before, they still lack a really good student section there. But anyway, it was fun, and congrats to those. But that kid they got, that new one,
They're all new.
well, no, he scored. He had 26 points.
Oh, okay.
I think the score was 25 to something, and he had 15 of the 25.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he was number 6. Is he a kid from Australia?
Well, they've lost two of their good players with injuries and everything, so.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even tell you. I haven't been following him. I feel bad because I really I'm pulling for him. I like him. Like I said, there's a great article on Coach Gottlieb in the Athletic. It's a national sports page, so to speak, about him. And it's, like I said, it's called Ready, Fire, Aim. And just talks about how every player, like, what are you doing? You're crazy to take over a Division I job, plus do a radio show, plus go to the Super Bowl, plus do all these things.
Yeah.
And he talks about, though, it's like, no, he doesn't do it any differently. He's not putting in any less time during that time span because they practice in the morning. So they got everything scheduled right. He still watches film all night long. And he talks about he's a single guy, and he sits in his basement and he watches film and film and film and film when, other regular coaches will be home having dinner with the family and, going to the kids' games. So he's devoted to it. It's never been done before. Yeah. And that's what makes it seem so crazy. I'm pulling for him. I really hope he does well here.
I think he will. I mean, it's like I said, yesterday was a whole lot of fun. So I think I don't know how many games they got left at home. Anyway, I like going. I think it's worth going. I was going to say, too, I was talking to someone about...
By the way, Michael, our man from Simple Life. Yeah, fellas, this is why I live in a condo with underground heated parking. Michael.
Take that. Yep.
Thank
I
you,
would
Michael.
take that. Thanks for rubbing it in.
Somebody just sent this in. We were talking about kangaroo meat.
Oh, my God, llamas?
Llama summer sausage. Okay.
Oh, no, I would never. I like llamas, man. No, those things are cool. They just... And they just don't like
I'd
it.
struggle.
They spit on you. Poof.
I'd struggle.
You eating it? Really?
Llama?
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that.
For some reason, yeah.
Nah, we had the lucky llama when I was in office. We'd come every New Year's Eve.
Todd, you're a
walk across the
farm boy,
bridge.
though,
No.
Todd.
Listen, I've eaten just about anything.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I don't like gator and I don't like snake and all that, but I've tried it before.
Tried rattlesnake?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try that because I watched that rattlesnake roundup down in Stillwater or Sweetwater, Texas, I think it is. And they have this whole big grill thing where they grill snakes. And it's like,
But that's a little bit tastes like chicken. I don't know. Did you think it was a really distinct taste?
Did you taste it?
Oh, yeah. Did you
Rattlesnake?
think it was that distinct? Like,
No.
Like when you talk, there's certain things like lamb has its own taste, right?
Yeah.
I was expecting more. Maybe it was the seasoning too, right? Or breaded or whatever. Anyway, yes, that's...
I don't know how you can, because I've helped skin snakes, rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
And there's so many bones. You got those big Y bones. How do you stay away from those bones when you're eating them?
Well, there were no bones in the stuff I
No,
had.
they just
Neither.
No.
Okay.
So
All right.
they figured something out.
Found a way to fillet them, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you eat rabbit,
Right.
is that different from a llama?
I don't know.
Or
Yeah,
a
no, I don't-
kangaroo? I mean, really?
I
Would
wouldn't
you
eat
eat
the
a pet
kangaroo.
rabbit? Would
No.
Would you
No.
raise a rabbit
No.
to eat? Okay.
Never.
Remember in the old days, like in the Midwest, sometimes you'd have kids would get turkeys for pets and then they'd have to,
Yeah. Cows.
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Go
know
out
that.
there and slaughter Betsy. Yeah, I know.
Well, like I said, though, some of those girls on 4-H, and I always used to ask
Right.
them, it's like, how do you do it? I said, oh, it was really sad. I cried for 3 days. Then the next year, how was it? Well, I was sad, but I bought a new stereo.
Right.
How's the next year?
$800.
Oh, it's fine. I got all my school clothes. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have a vacation. It's like, it's just funny the transition from, this, oh, no, to how much am I going to get from this? Yeah. So I could see doing it that way. But anyway, Lance Allen from CBS 58 in Milwaukee is coming out. We're just going to wrap up the whole Packer season, how it looks heading down the road here. I want to talk a little bit about, you talked about an exciting day yesterday. The Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah.
Is that ever a fun team to watch? Wow.
Yeah.
That Badger team right now is about as fun as I've seen since back the days of Frank Kaminsky and all those guys when they went to the championship game. Just a fun, exciting team. Kristen Ambos will be joining us, Point Mortgage Corporation, Paul Vandenplas, Wonderfully Wisconsin, and Stacy Ryan, a local author, will be joining us, which is very cool. Want to say hello to some of our sponsors, huh, Todd? Pickles and Bags.
Coming on, Pickle and Bags down in Oshkosh, going to be a sponsor of the Mino and the Mayor show.
And
That's
that's
awesome.
Again, that's people, well, we'll talk about it as they advertise a little bit more, but right, that's the pickleball, and he has a ton of courts, and then the beanbag toss, and you can reserve
And the
it.
bar, right?
And the bar.
And the bar.
Don't
That's
forget
true.
the bar.
Sorry about the bar.
We're forgetting something
All
here.
right, got it.
It really separates this one. Yeah. But no, I really want to learn how to play that this summer. Pickleball. Like I said, they got it at the Croc.
Yeah. I signed up for a lesson on our cruise. Well, yeah, that's getting expensive. You know what I mean? Like there's everything. Rent a chair, this and that. I mean,
You got to rent chairs on cruises?
no, when you go to an island, and you want to be on the beach, then you
Really?
rent like a hut or a
Havana?
yeah. Anyway,
How much the whole thing going to cost?
I don't know.
Do you even want to think about that?
Didn't you say that some of those drink packages were in the thousands?
Well, no, $80 a day, I think. So it's
Oh.
8 times 7 is 56, so $560. Maybe
For
there's
one.
right. So it's you're right. So it's $1,000 for two people. Yeah, maybe that's what I said.
All right. Great.
That'd be
Lance
worth
Allen joining us.
There ain't no secret like that, but come on over here.
The national news cycle never stops. but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.